The first time I met Emily Carter, she looked at my muddy boots like they were an insult. She had just inherited her late grandfather's $20 million ranch in Montana, but there was one problem. The will had a strange condition. To inherit everything, she had to be married and actively running the ranch within 90 days. Emily was a successful real estate executive from New York City. She knew luxury apartments, not livestock. And she definitely didn't know farming. I was Jake Miller, her next-door neighbor. A widowed farmer raising my 8-year-old daughter, Lily. When Emily walked onto my land asking for help, I expected questions about tractors or cattle. Instead, she took a deep breath and said, "I know this sounds crazy, but would you marry me?" I almost laughed. She quickly explained, "It would only be on paper. 6 months. I'll pay you $200,000. I stared at her. "I'm not for sale." She looked embarrassed. "I'm sorry. I just don't have anyone else." Before I answered, Lily came running across the field with dirt on her face. "Dad, one of the baby goats escaped again." Emily smiled for the first time. "I can help." She couldn't. The goat dragged her straight into a mud puddle. Lily laughed so hard she nearly fell over. Even I couldn't stop smiling. For the first time, Emily laughed at herself. That evening she admitted, "I've never worked this hard in my life." Over the next week she kept showing up. Not because of the contract. Because she genuinely wanted to learn. She woke up before sunrise. Fed chickens. Fixed fences. Learned to drive an old tractor that stalled every 10 minutes. She failed constantly. But she never quit. Eventually I agreed to the fake marriage. Not for the money. Because I could see how much the ranch meant to her grandfather. We signed the papers at the courthouse. No fancy wedding. No family. Just 2 strangers pretending to be husband and wife. The town loved to gossip. Some believed we had fallen in love overnight. Others thought Emily would run back to New York within a week. Neither knew the truth. As weeks passed, something unexpected happened. Emily stopped checking emails every 5 minutes. She started baking homemade pies with Lily. Every evening the 3 of us sat on the porch watching the sunset over the fields. It slowly began to feel like a real family. One afternoon a luxury developer arrived. He offered Emily $30 million for the ranch. "Sell it," he said. "You belong in New York, not here." $30 million. Almost everyone would have accepted. Emily looked at me, then at Lily feeding the horses. Finally she smiled. "No." The developer frowned. "You're throwing away a fortune." Emily answered quietly, "My grandfather didn't leave me a business. He left me a home." That's when I realized something. I didn't want our marriage to end. A week before the contract expired, Emily packed her suitcase. I promised I'd leave after 6 months. Lily hugged her tightly. "Do you have to go?" Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I don't know." That night I couldn't sleep. The next morning I found Emily standing beside the old oak tree where her grandfather used to sit. I walked over holding a small ring. Not expensive. Just simple silver. "This one isn't fake." She looked speechless. I fell in love with the woman who wasn't afraid to fail, who chose family over money, and who made this ranch feel alive again. Tears rolled down her face. "So, are you asking me to stay?" I smiled. "I'm asking you to stay forever." She threw her arms around me. "Yes." Months later we held a real wedding in the middle of the ranch. The whole town came. Lily walked Emily down the aisle herself. As the sun set over the fields, I realized something. The richest thing my neighbor ever inherited wasn't the ranch. It was the family she never expected to find.